Hello, the doc is in, and welcome back to another chapter of Black Clover, chapter 1 in 333, the savior of the world and its flaw. Having a little bit of trouble talking this afternoon around, or evening, I guess, when I'm recording this, but this chapter kind of hits. Last chapter, we have a little reintroduction. It's been a 3-month break, and we're back. And then there was a 1-year time skip. Yuno and Asta, presumably, are 18 years old. They're both ranked up, all right, making big gains. Asta's looking chadly, as always. We have a little bit of relationship, I guess you could say, drama updates and stuff. Yami just found out that Charlotte loves him, and he had to take a shit because he couldn't do that on a full stomach. Asta once again shot his shot with Sister Lily, and she said no. She hit him with the brother card, and I mean that's kind of an L. He accepted it. He was like, you know what? I won't ask you to marry me again, but I will be Wizard King. And she said she believed him. And at the very end of the chapter, we have Lucius just pulling up. Also, he eats a heart at the beginning of the chapter. We'll find out about him this chapter. Anyway, let's hop into this new chapter. So, chapter starts off, right, with a little bit of a backstory, mini backstory, really. And basically, as it was kind of presumed, I believe, Lucius is the best devil host in his family ever. And part of the reason for that is because, well, I assume part of the reason for that is because he has 2 souls in his body at birth. Julius, the Wizard King, Julius Novacorno, and Lucius Socrates. Those are his 2 souls. And he's decided that with his connection to Astaroth, the time devil, he will answer all his questions and figure out what to do with all this ability he has. And this is where we kind of get into, I believe it's the idea people had. I don't know if this is a theory or is this something that was just directly said, but the idea of Julius / Lucius, but mainly Lucius, wanting to remake the entire world with new unkillable bodies using him and his siblings' magic. So as we know, the different primary magic types of each of the Socrates siblings: body magic from Dante, bone magic from Zenon, blood magic from Vanica. There we go. Boom, got it. And my guess, mind magic from Lucius. That's my guess. I'm cashing my check. That's my guess. And so, putting all those together, he wants to create a peaceful world, but in creating the peaceful world, he has to kill all humans and then bring them back all as unkillable creations of the magic's combination. And so, Lucius, talking to himself or talking to his other soul, he basically is like, hey, Julius, I know we want to turn this world peaceful and whatever. I have the perfect plan. And I guess he explains his plan, and Julius is like, Lucius, I feel like that's genocide. He's like, no, not Tori. Astaroth and the ability of time told me that you would totally betray me, so I'm gonna just, put these handcuffs on you and put you in this little soul prison. Not to worry, I'll release you when we fix everything. And so, basically, that's where we see, likely, that's kind of where I assume we leave off, where Julius in his younger form is being questioned by Damnatio, and he's like, oh, time devil, time magic, only person with time magic, blah 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 blah. And then he's like, oh shoot. And so this is probably where in the soul realm he's getting the tap of doom from Lucius and is forever silenced. And so the chapter continues where we left off in last chapter, where after we get this little backstory / prelude to Lucius, we start back up where we left off. We have Asta and everybody looking at this guy, and they're like, who is this guy? Well, not really who is this guy, but they're like, is that the Wizard King? And then as they're kind of looking at him, they're like, I don't know, I don't think that's the Wizard King. Wizard King never had black hair. And so this does confirm my theory that I had from last chapter / even before that, which was that it seems like people didn't know what happened to Julius. They just know he disappeared for a while. And so that means that Lucius didn't really make any efforts to kind of like affirm like, oh guys, everything's okay in the Clover Kingdom, wink wink. He was just kind of like, well, I have things to do, so I'm gonna be outie. And of course, I mean, it's Julius, so they're not really gonna question it too much, and the Wizard King does have weird things he likes to do anyway, so I imagine they just kind of didn't think too hard about it, which seems was the case last chapter. But now that he's back, well, Lucius is here, they're kind of just like, I mean, that looks like the Wizard King, and his magic's probably the same, so they're probably like, this feels like the Wizard King. But that sinister smile, that black hair, that symbol on his forehead, that my Wizard King. And as he's looking at them, no introduction, no nothing, he's just like, alright, freeze. And he's put chronostasis the entire building. Everybody's put on lock, and immediately he's about to tap out Asta, but he's able, I mean, I guess through Libe or something, is able to activate his demon form, and therefore cause the magic to basically dissipate, at least around his immediate body, if not around his immediate area. And so Lucius then moves back because obviously Asta would have swung. And so so this is the power that defies reason. Anti-magic. I'm like, dang, this made really Aizen for real. And so Asta's assessing the situation. He's like, that's some of the Wizard King's magic, and this is on a way larger scale. That's kind of concerning. And basically Asta's like, who the heck are you? And he's just like, oh, BDWay, I have Lucifero's magic as well, or at least I've taken Lucifero. I assume he means magic. And obviously Asta's still stunned. Like, he's like, you look like Julius kind of, and you have the magic of Julius, but you're very obviously not Julius. And he's like, you're human, but you're not human, which is interesting. We'll discuss that at the end. But he's like, what'd you do with the Wizard King? He's like, oh, well, I'm Lucius Zagratis, nice to meet you, and I'm the savior of this world. Ooh, happy, cool. And also Julius is dead, sorry to say. And also obviously he's in a shock. He's like, the Wizard King's dead. The Wizard King was my goat. What do you mean he's dead? And Lucius is like, well, you know, Julius had to go on a mission, and we're doing it for everybody, and you know, due to a conflict of interests, I had to put him down like a sad dog. And I'm just like, wow, Lucius kind of out of pocket, right? And so Lucius is basically spewing. He's like, hey, I saw into the future using my magic, and I saw that the best, most perfect, peaceful world can be created if I do what I'm about to do, which is kill everybody, eliminate all of humanity, then replace them with new people, and I become the final and only Wizard King. And Asta, he's like, what? And then he elaborates further. He's like, the reason why I'm specifically here talking to you is because, you see, in this new future I had, the only person not accounted for who might be a problem is a certain anti-magic kid. You wouldn't have to know him, right? Oh wait, it's you. So I have to kill you. Sorry. I had to pull up on you, and I'm gonna cap you. So let me just touch your forehead real quick and blow that little head of yours off. And so Asta's like, yeah, I'm not feeling the vibes. If you want to run the fade, run the fade. I'm gonna beat you up, get Julius back, and prove myself. And Lucius is like, you trying to pull up on me? I'm strong the Wizard King. If you gonna surpass this Wizard King, you're never gonna beat me. And Lucius is like, and Asta's like, bro, have you not read this manga? All I do is surpass. If I need to surpass the Wizard King, fuck it, we ball. And he flexes the anti-magic, releases everybody from the chronostasis bubble, and he's like, I'll just surpass the Wizard King right here, right now. And that's the end of the chapter. Lucius looks unfazed, but hey, we got the dual wielding, we got the katana, and I think it's Demon Destroyer's sword, or Demon Dweller. It's the one that gets rid of like curses and stuff, and like, or is known specifically for erasing kinds of magic. And yeah, that's the end of the chapter. Great panel on this last one. A lot of great panels, actually. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good introduction for Lucius. I mean, the original introduction, it hit, but continuing on, they're really setting up Lucius to be like a pretty good heavy hitter. He's killed the Wizard King, presumably, to a certain degree, and not only replaced him, stronger than him, did a lot of plotting, basically been plotting the whole series, and he's been prepping. All right, he's the lurking legend that One Piece was talking about. The lurking legend, it was Lucius. It was all along. It was talking about a different manga. See, that's why we couldn't figure out who it was. It's this guy. And apparently, based on Asta's statement, he's not human in a sense, but I imagine that might be in result of a similar kind of deal that was made in a way that Zenon did, where Zenon traded out his heart for a devil heart, then turning him kind of into a pseudo demon, if not just straight up a demon. And so maybe Lucius, through eating a devil heart, and maybe whatever deal he made with Astaroth, has become, in a sense, also a devil. He just doesn't have either he's able to do something to make his looks not look like a devil directly, or maybe his transformation is more internal, and so his insides, or what, everything that's covered up right now, looks like devil. And so yeah, considering the way the manga goes, I cannot imagine Asta wins this fight now. Like, he's gonna get curb stomped. And just the way Lucius looks at the end of the chapter, he looks so unfazed by Asta. I mean, mind you, he was a Wizard King, and he was probably lurking, like, in a similar sense to how Vengeance and Pottery worked. He's probably like lurking right behind Julius's eyes and kind of like seeing everything Asta's doing and knows everything Asta's been doing. That it's kind of like, I can't imagine you aren't aware of how powerful and broken Asta is. So for you to be completely unfazed by him basically saying, I'll just kick your ass right here, right now, that's pretty concerning. That's kind of a wee woo. That's something. So yeah, can't wait for the next chapter. I don't think we get a chapter this week, which kind of sucks. I mean, 2 chapters in and we're already going on break. It brings a pain to my a pain to my eyes, but I'm excited for the next chapter for sure. With that being said, if you like, leave a like. If you dislike, leave a dislike. Comment. How badly do you think Asta's gonna get his ass beat? Do you think Yuno's gonna pull up to the fight and be like, I heard about the Wizard King not being the Wizard King no more? If you want to catch the hands, you can catch the hands. You think Yuno's gonna pull up for the fade or not? What do you think? If you want to see more videos like these as new chapters come out each week to week, and see chapters on different manga releases, chapters, whatever, feel free to subscribe, ring the noti bell, all the things. Do all the things for my channel, all the stuffs. And with all being said, the doctor is out. Peace.